y'all. So I owe y'all the update about the job. So another one bites the dust. I told y'all I did not go in there last Sunday. My body was just like, no. Oh wait, before I tell y'all that, let me give y'all an update on this sleep. I told y'all during the week I cannot sleep. I wake up in the 3 or 4 o'clock hour. When I come home, I work a split shift. So when I come home between my shifts and I try to take a nap, when I put Neighborhood Insurance baby down for his nap, I try to nap and I cannot fall asleep. But last night, and maybe because I stayed up a little later than normal, because we're in bed by 9 during the week. And maybe because last night I did stay up later than normal, I stayed up until midnight so I could wish my oldest, who turned 25 today, I had to hit send at midnight to wish her a happy birthday, although she's on vacation, and where she is, it wasn't the 6th yet, but I had to hit send at midnight to wish her a happy birthday. So maybe because I was up late last night, maybe why I slept longer. But I woke up this morning, it was like 3 minutes till 7, which I haven't slept that late in quite a while. But maybe, like I said, it's because I went to bed later, but I didn't wake up feeling tired. I don't feel tired now. So I don't know if it's just, like I said, I did not take today, rushing to get to where I needed to be in time. I didn't take my vitamin this morning. I didn't take my other supplement that I started. But anyway, I'll take it when I get back home. But yeah, so I don't know if my body just doesn't like how early I have to get up to go to work or what. Or maybe it's just my mind racing, trying to figure all of this out with the job and everything. I don't know, but I'll see how early I wake up tomorrow. I'll keep you guys posted. But yeah, so back to this job. Another one bites the dust. My body would not allow me to go in there last Sunday. So the temp agency has a 24-hour answering service. I let them know it's just not going to work out. I turned in my badge, and they said they'll keep me posted if they have any other weekend availability with something that starts a little later, not 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh, by the way, the lady that I met there, who's new to the area, she called me this morning. She said she's not going back. She can't do it either. And I'm like, maybe it was just meant for us to meet. Maybe that was the whole purpose of it all. Maybe it was meant for her to meet, because I have been looking for some, just like a little, I don't know if tribe is the right word, but just someone. I've met a few people in the area, but she seems like someone that I may be able to hang out with. She's from Baltimore. She does look familiar, but I can't place it. Last night when she texted me, saying she wasn't sure if she was going to go in there. She was at a vegan restaurant, one that I never heard of, that I meant to bring a piece with me, because I have a piece that would be perfect for a vegan restaurant, and I meant to bring it with me to shoot my shot to see if, one of the vegan restaurant owners would purchase it. But I left that home today too, just kind of like rushing to get down in time. I had some business I wanted to take care of, and it was no way I was going to make it in time. So I ended up sending my daughter to do it for me, not the birthday girl, my youngest girl. She was able to do it for me. but it kind of threw me off. I left everything I needed to bring. I left mostly everything I needed to bring down with me home. So, yeah, my day is kind of thrown off. But yeah, so we seem like we have a few things. We have a few things in common. She seems cool. And maybe it was just meant for both of us to be at that, go to the temp agency, get placed at that job so we can meet one another. I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, I can't. I'm not going to be able to do it. And then when I got my first check from there, and I need to call because I didn't get a pay stub or anything, so I need to call the temp agency because I suspected that I may not have gotten paid for like a half hour, because when I first got there, I didn't have a badge to get in. They take your picture at the temp agency and then they give you your badge when you get there. So I couldn't get in, and they have a sign posted on the door. And when the lady was going through all like the safety precautions and different things when she sat down with me before I started my work that day, one of the things that she said, and they have it posted on the door, you can't let anyone else in, even if it's another employee and it's another employee, they work there. They have to swipe their badge to get in. You can't like hold the door and let somebody in. So that first day that I was there, I was like trying to get in. I was ringing the call bell, and the girl was like, well, I can let you in if they say it's okay. So they're big on not letting anyone in. So when I got in that first day, and when I went in, we were doing the stretching and all of that. And then when I got with, it wasn't who was going to be my supervisor, but I think the one who was going to be my supervisor was out that day. So she was filling in, and when she sat me down and she did everything, by the time we got finished doing all of that and she took me to the time clock, it was like 33 minutes after I was supposed to. It was like 6:33. And I remember saying to her, I'm punching in at 6:33, but remember I was here at 6. And she was like, oh, they'll adjust it. But when I got my pay, because it's weekly pay day, when I got my pay, and I did the math, and I don't know what other tax, I'm sure, taxes and stuff like that came out. When I did the math, the paycheck broke down to like $14 and some change an hour. After, that's just the take home portion. Like, it was equivalent to like $14 and some change an hour. And like I said, I'm going to call them and see if I can get a stub, see exactly what I got paid for, because they may owe me like a half hour of some money. But even still, $14 and some change an hour, I can make that doing my badges. I can make more. Even the hourly amount that they were paying me to be there, I could make more than that doing my batches. I do make more than that doing my batches, but I'm thinking, I had the recent car trouble. It wouldn't be putting as many miles on the car. I wouldn't have to, replenish the gas. But doing the batches, I definitely make more. I definitely make more than what they were paying me hourly to work there. And I normally get up and get out and do my batches at 6, start at 6 anyway, but I don't have to. I have the flexibility to do it the hours that I want to do it. I can grab something to eat. It's just different things. Flexibility is where I'm at in my life. Like, I'm big on flexibility and being able to own more of my time. So, and when I do all the math, right? And I have not gotten my first pay from the other job yet, so I can't really do the math. So, but just based on, just calculations, I think until some other things start working out, well, I told you I did venture into this other thing, but even if the other thing that I'm about to start doing doesn't pan out, I may be able to make it work with the part-time, with the job during the week and doing my batches on the weekends. I'm going to see, plus selling my pieces. I've been working on my pieces. Oh, speaking of, so in the last video I said I was thinking, what would it look like if I just took one of those days and dedicated 10 hours to working on my business, right? I said that, and it was that same day, I believe it was that same day, someone expressed interest in purchasing a piece. Now, they haven't sent the money for it yet. My motto is you can't count the money till it's in your hand. So they have not sent the money for it yet. But I finished up a new piece. I posted it on a Sunday, or did I post it on a Monday? I posted it on a Monday. Neighborhood Insurance Baby, this was in between my shifts. Neighborhood Insurance Baby was taking a nap. I posted it on a Monday. My auntie, who I've never met in person, who's younger than me, but she has older aunt energy, she said, I'm gonna message you Wednesday about placing an order. And she messaged me Wednesday and she purchased her piece. So, I finished it on a Monday, posted it on a Monday, she ordered it on Tuesday. And quite often that's how it happens when I'm really able to put the time in. I can post a piece and I can always tell when it's a piece that's going to sell almost immediately, right? I can almost tell. I know what pieces are going to be hot, and sometimes I'm shocked, a piece that I don't think may be hot is hot, but I can kind of tell when it's a piece that's going to be snatched up right away. So I'ma just keep putting the time into my business. I'm gonna work this job during the week, and I'm gonna see what this other thing that I'm about to get into, what that brings. So although that temp agency job did not pan out for me for the weekends, it's just I just rolled past a house. I don't know what it is. It's just something about a black and white house with a red door for me. I don't know what it is. I just love it. But anyway, yeah, so although I won't be at that temp job during the week, I will still be working weekends, just not as early. And yeah, so I'll still be working weekends, and I'll have a bit more flexibility with what I'll be doing, and I'll keep you guys posted with what that is pretty soon. I'm just still figuring out all the details of it. And I'm just going to keep trying. I'm going to do all the things that I can, and all the things that just all the things until I figure out the thing, or the one thing, or the few things that really works, and I'm able to have the life that I envision for Neighborhood Insurance Baby, and for me and Neighborhood Insurance Baby. I want, it's a lot that I want. It's not even a lot that I want. It's really not even a lot that I want. What I want for us is simplicity, and I want us to live a relaxed, simple life. I want the simplicity. I want relaxed. I want not rushed, yeah. I mean, it's a lot more that goes into that, it's a lot more that goes into that, but that just you know, if I had to sum it up, simplistic and relaxed, toxin free. I know I do this channel, but I'm really going to minimize the electronics. It's just a lot. I was doing a foot soak last night, and I give him these foot soaks, but I did one on myself last night. And so when I did I was doing it in my closet where I do my pieces, because I was working on a piece as I was soaking my feet. And in the foot soak, it was like apple cider vinegar, baking soda, Epsom salt.
Take the next right toward Maryland 128 West, then slight right onto Maryland 128 West.
I just made the wrong turn. Yes, Yes, I am fully capable of making the wrong turn with my GPS on, by the way. But yeah, so it was like a foot detox, apple cider vinegar, baking soda, and you have to make sure you're using aluminum-free baking soda. So apple cider vinegar, baking soda, Epsom salt, bentonite clay, and I put some heavy metal detox herbs in there, right? But I'm doing it in my closet that I converted to the space that I do my pieces. And I have a mini major appliance in there, and I may talk about that on another video, but I have an appliance in there. And the way, you know, because I have my desk that I work on a pizza, so it's limited space because of the other stuff that I have in there, and I may have to move some stuff around and make it, make the space for the appliance that I put in there. But I put the appliance in there because I'm trying to cut down on the EMF. So I took my TV out of my room, and I put it in my office because that's me and neighborhood insurance, baby. We sleep in my room. My sister has his room, and even if she didn't have his room, he probably would not be sleeping in there. So I put my TV in my office to keep the EMF, down in the room. Although, I charge my cell phones in there and stuff like that, but I don't have them like directly like where, I keep them like on the floor, not like on the bed, exactly where we're sleeping. So anyway, so when I was putting the appliance in the room, I'm like, well, and I looked it up, and it gives off minimal. It doesn't give off a whole lot of EMF, but I put it when I was putting it in the room, I'm like, well, I don't want it in the room because that defeats the whole purpose of taking the TV out, right? So I put it in the closet. So I'm like, okay, so if it's in the closet and the door is shut, that that adds an extra barrier, I guess. But I'm going to get a lot more. I'm going to get a lot more of those EMF blockers, especially the ones that for the big appliances and stuff like that, right? But when I was in there and I was doing a foot soak, because there's limited space in there now, because I just kind of put the appliance in there and I didn't like move stuff around for it. I just, it was last minute because I had originally just planned to sit it in the room, but I thought about it. So I put it in there, where I do the pieces. And I have, like some really big frames that I have for really big pieces. I have all of them in there. So I just have to, and I have a whole bunch of boxes of puzzles in there. So I have to really move some stuff around there to for space purposes. But that was just, a for now, let me hurry up and put it in there. So when I was doing the foot soak, like the basin, the stainless steel, by the way, no, it wasn't plastic. It's this, that I had the foot soak in, it was sitting right up against the appliance, and I'm like, oh gosh. I have it sitting right up against this appliance, so the EMF has gone into my water that I'm, doing for my detox foot soaks. Yeah. So eventually, I'm saying all this to say that when I picture how I really want me and Neighborhood Insurance Baby to live, I want us to live as close to nature as possible, toxin free, like toxin free, because it does everything. It interrupts your hormones. It's so much. It's so much. It's so much. And I think I did a video on it months back, but we have so many people walking around with anxiety and depression and a lot of this stuff, and a lot of it is chemical imbalance. And chemical imbalance is linked to a lot of these household products, hair products. Yes, I have on blue, what's the stuff that you put on your eyes? Mascara right now. That's probably linking to something too. Whatever. All of this stuff. All of it. But I'm going to a memorial service for someone, the mother of my sister from another mister and my brother from another mother, and her favorite color was royal blue. So I did, and I had, when I was announcing the gender for Neighborhood Insurance Baby, I had the blue on. I still have that blue mascara, so I put some on today. But all of that too. Eventually, I very rarely. I think I probably the only time I probably wear any type of makeup is when y'all see it when I'm on, because when I'm a little done up, that's when I try to do my videos. So that's probably when y'all see it on here is probably the only rare occasion that I wear it. But so eventually when I picture the life, this video was not supposed to be this long. I feel like I'm rambling at this point, but when I picture our life, I picture us living as close as nature and in nature. Because y'all know I'm a woods girl. I like to live where there's a bunch of trees and some woods and some wilderness, and I picture us living somewhere like that. I don't need the big house that I had before. I picture like a moderate house, massive amount of land, growing my vegetables, maybe with a chicken or two for some eggs. I don't know, but no toxins in the house, everything natural. Very electronics only when absolutely necessary, or maybe just on weekends or something. I don't know. So back to what I was saying. Simplistic and relaxed is what I picture for us. And I'm just going to keep doing what I can and what I need to until that is obtained. I really do not like, and I know people do it. We work, I did it with my older children. We have to be at work by a certain time. So we have to have them to daycare by a certain time, or we have to get out and catch the bus by a certain time, or they have to be to school by a certain time. All of this stuff, right? But living the way, being home for 5 years, and I didn't have to wake him up at the crack of dawn, and we wasn't on this schedule. Well, I was kind of on a schedule because I still did work. I just worked from home, but I didn't have to have him up at a certain time so we could be somewhere I could let him sleep until he woke up. I was up. I would have, he was breastfed majority of his life. He's just 3. He was breastfed for a little over a year and a half. But with a breakfast, I would have it, ready for when he wake up. We do our herbal teas in the morning. I would have it done so that when he wakes up, it's room temperature or warm, perfect temperature for him to drink. We didn't have to rush anything, but and mom guilt is a real thing. I feel guilty thinking back to my youngest girl, me having to return back to work 6 weeks after she was born because I didn't have the leave time, and I was able to stay home with the other 3 a lot longer. I still feel guilty about that, and she's 22, so yeah, mom guilt is real, but I really just don't like having to wake him up that early, and then having to wake him up again to break his nap, break his nap in between the shifts for us to go do my afternoon shift. And I know we do what we gotta do.
In 800 feet, use the right lane to take the I-83 south ramp.
But
In 600 feet, use the right lane to take the I-83 south ramp. Use the right
I don't
lane
like
to take
it.
the I-83 south
I know, especially being, older, I know how vital sleep is, especially for a developing mind. His brain is still developing. I think I mentioned on the video that he has some digestive issues going on, so digestive issues, and then, not the proper sleep, all of that can lead to other things, and it's just, I know the life that I want for us, and I know we have to do what we have to do, and people do it every day. They get their children up at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever. We've done it for years, but I'm just thinking, like, we have so many people who are chronically stressed or dealing with this, dealing with that, health issues, mental health issues. The standard American work week, how do we know that doesn't link to some of that? Because and the school week, and I was thinking, even the way it's set up, like when I pick up my students, the younger students have the earlier pickup times and have to be in school earlier. And the older students, they have a later pickup time and have to be in school later. And I'm like, shouldn't that be reversed? Like, the younger children, shouldn't they be the ones that should be able to sleep a little bit longer since their brains are still developing? You know what I mean? Like, it's like the way everything is set up backwards, and it's not conducive to us to, just the way the whole system is set up. It's not conducive to good nutrition. It's not conducive to good sleep. It's just, I'm willing to bet that's why we suffer from so many things that we're afflicted with, health-wise, mental-wise, and all of that, because just the way, for the most part, we have to live to survive. But this conversation is, this video is going in a whole other direction. But like I said, I I'm not going to stop until I'm able to give us the life that, for one, we're accustomed to. Me being home, us not having to rush, us being relaxed, and I wanna get back there. I want to get back there. But I'm back home. That, like I said, that was my number one priority. So I am back home with him. And he even reminded me, I was promising him all the time. I mean, you know, like even when we'd be home and he'd be wanting to play, and I'm like, okay, baby, you know, we're gonna play, but I have my phone because I'm applying for jobs. I'm trying to figure out, you know, I was looking for work from home jobs, and I would always tell him, I'm trying to figure out, you know, how to get back home with you. I'm trying to figure out how to get back home with you. And I kept telling him, I'm going to be back home with you. I promise I'm going to be back home with you. He asks me ever so often, you know, you back home with me? And I say, yep, I'm back home with you, you know. So I was able to make that happen, keep that promise. But now I just have to figure out, you know, how to make it happen and make the ends, you know, fully meet too. So yeah, stay tuned. But another one bites the dust. I could not, you know, I'm not in my 20s anymore. You know, my father always said I was a workaholic, and I guess, you know, it still rings true, but I'm not as young as I used to be, and I have a toddler. Well, I guess back then I probably had 3 children. I don't know, but 3 little children. But anyway, yeah, I'm not as young as I used to be, and I have a toddler, and I'm still trying to figure it out. So I'm going to go ahead and end this. And as always, it's the neighborhood insurance lady. I'm wishing you love, laughter, life insurance, pieces of the puzzle. Your children being transported safely. And I'm also wishing you a life full of simplicity and